Well, let me tell you about the Nonprofit Institute. It started the idea for it began probably about 2010 when the college and I realized that Southern Maryland really depends on its nonprofits, and many of them are struggling. In fact, they're all struggling. None of them are rich, none of them have enough staff, none of them have enough volunteers. And the amount of emphasis that we place on these nonprofits continues to grow every year. And so how can the college, and through its a newly formed nonprofit institute, help the nonprofit community in Southern Maryland? So you can see the name of it. It's not the college's nonprofit institute, it's the nonprofit institute at the College of Southern Maryland. It's a separate entity, although it has fallen under our wing. We have received funding from Charles County in 2012, from St. Mary's County in 2013, and we're hopeful in the future we will receive funding from Calvert County. But as you can see, the key is all about helping our nonprofits to build their capacity, to serve more clients well and better than they currently are. Boards of directors are so critically important. And how can we help to train and attract for these nonprofits individuals who want to give back to the community? A clearinghouse of information, a lot of training, as you'll see. Professional resources. There are so many people out in the community who, if tapped, would be willing to help the nonprofits, but there's not a network, there's not a connection. And to help with advocacy. So it's very pie in the sky, and yet so many of these I think we've been successful in implementing. But a lot of what we're doing is training and networking. We're getting, for instance, the executive directors together monthly, and they're talking about common issues and common problems. We're a lot of training in terms of fundraising and marketing and board development and management skills, etc. We have an annual conference. So lots of things going on, and it's evolving because remember, the Nonprofit Institute, as I indicated, is not that old. What we're going to talk about today are two major initiatives that I'm very, very proud of. One has to do with fundraising, and two has to do with volunteers and how we can help the nonprofit community secure the volunteers they need to be successful. So in terms of the vision for fundraising, and think about it. Many young people, many millennials today, they don't want a solicitation in the mail. They're looking to provide giving through online approaches. The website Kickstarter, many of you may be familiar with Kickstarter, is wildly successful. And projects that people might think are frivolous are making thousands upon thousands of dollars. When nonprofits in Southern Maryland are struggling to really help people, and I have nothing against someone who is developing the best potato salad recipe ever, or wanting to write the great American novel. They deserve thousands of dollars. But what about our people who are feeding the hungry, that are helping the dying, that are working in historical settings? I mean, to my way of thinking, they need a platform as well. And this is a way that, as you can see, it's a year-round hub for all nonprofits. This is not going to go away. This is not this month and then next month it's gone. This will be here forever. And what we're trying to do is to cultivate the community, and that's why you're here. Remember, there's no such thing as a free lunch. This cannot be successful without the media. We need you to publicize it, not just one and done, because as you're going to see, there's a monthly churn. We need your support. We need your partnership. Otherwise, it's going to fail. And otherwise, these nonprofits are not going to be able to raise the money and do the kinds of things they need to do that's going to affect all of us. You're going to see that it's going to spotlight projects, and I'm going to show you the website in just a minute. Projects that need immediate funding, and many of the projects that we have started with are here today. They're representatives, and you'll hear more about them. It's an awareness piece. It's a way that people can learn more about the nonprofits in the area, and all about connecting donors and organizations online. So powerful and so important. And it's going to become increasingly important in the future. Many nonprofits do have their own online giving sites. It's part of their websites. And if you ask these nonprofits, how successful are you in raising money online, they'll tell you not very. Because people are not being driven to their websites. And there's really not a call to action. With the media support, we can have a call to action. Again, this does not impact the college. This does not impact the nonprofit institute. This is all about quality of life and how we can make a difference, all of us, in the citizens and to the citizens of Southern Maryland. And the logo, strong nonprofits equals strong communities. And it's so very, very true. So here it is. Southern Maryland Gives. Live here, give here. And it's easy to find it. As you can see, www.southernmarylandgives.org. Now what's unusual is this platform did not exist. We actually had to go to Razoo, which is an online giving platform. Many of you may have heard of these 24-hour giving programs like Giving Tuesday. Razoo is the one that organizes them. But after that, they go away. We actually worked with Razoo. We have a contract where they built this site for us. And I want to recognize Kim Yelman, who really worked so diligently with them, because they had no clue what we wanted them to do. And to develop a program, a platform that really would be advantageous to us took a lot of time. So thank you, Kim. Okay, so I'm going to, there it is, but I'm going to go down and show it to you this way. So this is just for Southern Maryland. Now, it doesn't mean that people who live in California or Pittsburgh cannot donate. This is a national site. And you will see that at the top, total dollars. It'll have the total unique donors and the number of donations. So you might have somebody donating more than once. So they will be a unique donor, but the number of contributions will be here, and that's going to be a running total. Talks a little bit about it. A person can give $10 minimum, or up to, I guess, $10,000. Although if someone gave $20,000, would they allow them to do that? We should test that. Would anyone like to test it in the room? On the right, it talks about why this is important, how it's working, and then there are two components. One is the featured fundraisers over to the left. And I do want to recognize, and you're going to see Megan in just a little bit, Megan Timmons worked with Razoo and actually stood up this platform, in many cases with Kim, in many cases on her own, and I want to recognize her hard work as well to get this off the ground. And so imagine going online, as you will, as we are right now, and there are, as you can see, 9 nonprofits with specific projects, specific things that they're trying to raise money for. Like, for instance, right here, how do you not click on that cute dog for training? So you click on training equipment, the Bay Canine SAR Corp. We have a representative here, thank you. Look at that. Is that cute? How do you not donate? And so basically it talks about what they're trying to raise money for, okay? And it has the number of donors, the number, how much money is or time is left. And a person then can say, wow, I want to donate to this cause. We have a representative, for instance, from Greenwell Foundation. So The archery range is their project. And you can see they're trying to raise $5,000 for an archery range for their clients. And again, they have 3 donors. They've raised $30 out of their $5,000 goal. And you might say, why is it so little? Because we haven't gotten the word out. That's why you're here. We need your help to get the word out in 2 ways. One way, a big email, a big blast in terms of this is now available. But the hope is that down the road, you will also, as we have new projects, new featured projects, you will also publicize them and drive people to these sites, because that's what it's all about. How do you say no to saving someone with a rescue dog, or the Greenwell Foundation, who is trying to create an archery range for their clients, or there's a variety of sites, as you can see, cots for safe nights. So lots of different, they're trying to raise $5,000, and it talks about the project. What's different from Kickstarter is if for instance, if we go back to see, I like this one. You're very smart. Because it's $400. You know, you're going to raise $400. Not to say Greenwell and the others aren't smart, because eventually we will be able to gear up to it. But this one definitely, we should be able to meet that goal. But even if we raise $350, the organization will receive whatever they earned. And what's also nice is, and Kim was just mentioning this, I don't know if I should, but the foundation, the organization, the nonprofit will also not only receive the donation, they will also know that you've donated. So it builds their database. So at the, most of them will have a year-end solicitation. It will build their solicitation list as well. They'll be able to connect with donors that they didn't even know existed. So that's one site or one piece of it. But the other is, you may not, there's only 9 here. Remember, there are thousands of nonprofits. So let's say you want to donate to hospice, let's say, okay? And you can click on hospice. They're not featured this month. And there is hospice of St. Mary's County. And they don't have a project, but you want to give them $40. Boom, you can do that. And so there's a way that you can also link with these other nonprofits that are in Southern Maryland. Now, all the way at the bottom, here you go. There is, as you can see, Southern Maryland Gives Supporters. There is St. Mary's County. There is Charles County. We receive funding from Southern Maryland Oil and SMECO to help get this off the ground. There will be another category, right, Megan? And it will be media sponsors. For those of you who make a commitment to say, yes, we will do our best to publicize these events as new activities, as new projects come on board, we will work with you to publicize that. It might be just a little box, it might be just a little press release, it might be something on Metrocast, a little snippet. Doesn't have to be extensive, but that always a churn, always a knowledge in the community. And as I was mentioning to Elisa earlier, wouldn't it be great to create a culture of giving? That it's not just people who on a regular basis, this is the vision, that every month, let's say you get paid the first Friday of every month, and you've got some disposable cash, you go right online, you say, okay, what are the projects this month? And you get used to going on and donating. And then wouldn't it be nice for children? Let's say your child has 10th, 12th, 15th birthday, and they've got all these presents, but you have the opportunity to give them probably the most important present of all, and that is just the understanding of giving back to society. And they sit down with this young person and goes through and says, here are all the featured projects. Any of those oh yeah, I love that dog. I want to give $10 to that dog. Fine. The parent would then make a donation in the child's name. And that the child then, as he or she grows up, hopefully will develop a culture of giving. And so I get excited. I have to tell you, even though we've been dealing with this for a couple of years, this did not happen overnight, I still get excited about the potential and how this can truly help our nonprofit community in a variety of ways. They're desperate for funding, and there's just not enough of it. And there are people in the community of means, and not even means, but who have 10, 12 bucks that they can donate. Here's an opportunity to connect the donors with the nonprofits. So that's what that site looks like. And just a couple of other ideas. For the nonprofits, they don't pay anything, it's free. The Nonprofit Institute paid for the site to be developed. It will pay for the annual subscription to continue to run it. We, because of Megan, she's working with the nonprofits. This is an easy site. If you contribute, if you're part of, let's say, Giving Tuesday, it takes a lot of time and a lot of expertise to do this. This is easy. I understand it's just cutting and pasting for the most part. But someone has Megan who can sit there with them and help them. Comprehensive donation reports, easy, secure. I mean, makes perfect sense. For the donors, it's really easy. It's very, very secure. You're able to do it. You wake up in the morning, you can't sleep. You've got all this money and you're worried about what are you going to do with it? Well, we've got a place for you to put it. 100% tax deductible, local giving. It's all about here, all about saving here. It makes you feel great. And again, strong nonprofits equals strong communities. So, to make this work, it's the nonprofits, it's the donors, of course, but here's the other. The business supporters who are going to help to keep the site moving and going, and also the media, all of you, that we really need your support. I'm going to call on Megan now.
We envision social media as a way to have a meaningful relationship with nonprofits, with donors, and volunteers in Southern Maryland. Twitter and Facebook allow us to quickly and easily reach people, find new connections, and keep everyone informed about what we're doing. As our community grows with this online giving campaign, we want to keep the conversation going and share updates about our featured fundraisers and let everyone know what projects need support. With Southern Maryland Gives, we're sharing information about who's giving as far as media support and the tweeting that we're doing, we're also sharing information about events that are happening in the community, and we're retweeting interesting things like Kitten Palooza, for example, that just happened with the Humane Society. So not only are we reaching out to the nonprofits that we work with, we're trying to involve everyone in the conversation. All nonprofits are welcome in this forum. With Razoo, an online fundraising campaign, sharing through social media is a very important part of the campaign. And by sharing information, that is really how we're going to get donors and supporters. According to Razoo, statistically, one share can equal $18 in donations on average. So we really believe in the power of social media for these campaigns. And Facebook is also how we're sharing information. And we really depend on sharing. So you can see I kind of updated with Agriculture Conservation Corps, Center for Children. You know, we want to have all of these images present in people's minds, and that really gives them information about all the things that we're doing. So this is really a tool we're doing to reach new people and make those connections that we might not have otherwise had face to face. LinkedIn, I won't connect to it, but I just wanted to briefly touch on it. Our LinkedIn group focuses on sharing relevant content with the nonprofit community. We post grant opportunities and any information that we see as valuable to nonprofit professionals. So, as a media sponsor, we consider you to be the hometown hero. You know, you're the voice of these initiatives, and the more that you share our content with the people that connect to you, the more return on investment you're going to have. So it's all about increasing traffic and getting people really excited about it. And one way that we're going to do that is to talk about business supporters as well, where that's really the next step for us. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Okay. So part of the campaign for Southern Maryland Gives is to reach out to businesses and have them become part of the conversation as well. And we're gearing up for that. The first step is to share this information with you, and as we move forward, we're going to include more and more businesses as part of this local giving campaign. That's where you come in?
Yes, definitely. Don't go too far, because we're going to do you next. You have to stay here. So basically, we're hoping that you will consider being part of the conversation. The hope is twofold. One, the rollout of Southern Maryland Gives, so that everybody knows it exists. It's easy to find it. But then second of all, and to us equally important, that it just doesn't go away. That we keep it front and center, because every month we're not certain if it's going to be a month, if it's going to be 6 weeks. We want to make sure that we give each of these nonprofits a fighting chance to make their goal, but that there will be a constant churn. And we believe that for anybody and everyone in Southern Maryland, they may not be really excited about one project or another, but I guarantee you if there's 9 projects, they're going to find something that they get excited about. I want to mention, I'm going to turn it back over to Megan because she's really been working hard on this, but this is the second initiative. And this is Volunteer Southern Maryland. The biggest issue facing nonprofits, one is obviously funding, and the second is volunteers. Not having enough volunteers, good volunteers. Volunteers that can be serving on boards, that can help with fundraising, that can be helping an organization fulfill its mission. And so you have nonprofits at one end saying, we don't have enough of a supply of good volunteers. At the other side, there are many, many, many people in this community who want to give back to the community. They want to volunteer, but they don't know what all the options are. So how can we, as part of the Nonprofit Institute, as we strengthen the nonprofits, to put volunteers together with organizations where there is a passion? And that's what this second initiative is all about. And I'm going to turn this back over to Megan.
So when we started talking about Southern Maryland Gives, we really wanted to encompass both having people support projects that need help, and people could give their money to projects and nonprofits around the region. But we also were thinking, well, people also want to give their time. So Southern Maryland Gives, Live Here, Give Here is a more general concept of supporting nonprofits through volunteering and donating. So we're kind of including Volunteer Southern Maryland in the spirit of giving locally. Volunteer Southern Maryland is a database that it started in 2002, but we are re-energizing the database, taking it under the ownership of the Nonprofit Institute. And we're really excited about that. Personally, I have heard about this need in the community. People want to volunteer, but they can't find places. They don't really know what opportunities are available. And organizations really are looking for those quality volunteers, and they're not really sure where to find them. So this is a database, and by offering a centralized location to find volunteer opportunities, we can promote volunteerism in Southern Maryland. Volunteer Southern Maryland is a destination for passionate people and organizations who want to make a difference in their own backyard. People who are interested in volunteering can create a profile on the site and get matches. Volunteers can search opportunities by interest or by location. They can even record hours served if they need that for some sort of documentation for school. Events like annual fundraisers, river cleanups, and other fun projects that are happening around Maryland, organizations can post these events on the site and people can look at them and sign up. It's a chance for people to see where they're needed, and we're really looking forward to mobilizing people and getting organizations on board to post opportunities. So that is really something that we're working on right now, and we're very much looking forward to developing it further.
So these are the two initiatives. Brand new initiatives through the Nonprofit Institute. The Southern Maryland Gives, and I like what Megan said, it's really one big umbrella. And that is, how do we help individuals give back to the community? They can do it through financial resources. They can also do it through their time and energy. Or they could do both, which is even better. So we need your help, and that's why we've invited you here today to join us in this quest, to help Southern Maryland's nonprofit community become even stronger, serve more people, and to serve them in a way that really meets the needs of the community. I would like to recognize a couple people. They've already introduced themselves. Vivian Mills, who is the coordinator of the Charles County Nonprofit Institute, and Harriet Yaffe, who is heading up our St. Mary's Institute.
Those of you in the media community, I know, deal with 1,000 topics a day maybe, or something like that. But if you are interested in some good information and data about the size of the nonprofit community, the 501c3 charitable organizations in all of Southern Maryland or in a given county, or if you'd like some information about the economic impact of these organizations as they serve the community, please get in touch with us and we will provide that information or direct you to it.